From Beatport #1s to headlining shows worldwide, a habit for world benders and a fan base with loyalty and growth that rivals some of the world's biggest pop stars. The man born and raised in Chicago, living by the work hard, play hard lifestyle. This is the rise of John Summit. What's up, I'm EVPRO, and today we'll take a look at the rise of John Summit. From his early influences to his breakout track Deep End, we'll look at his continued success to becoming one of the most influential artists within the house music scene. Summit grew up in Chicago, a city rich in its musical history and culture and seen for many as a birthplace of house music.
I would say my biggest influence, growing up, was Green Velvet, because he's from Chicago too. He went to the same school I went to and everything. But he's like the Chicago house legend, and that's everything you want to be as a Chicago DJ, you know?
It was while attending the University of Illinois that Summit began his self-learning adventure of music production. However, it wasn't until he was fired from his college bar job at 19 that made him transfer into DJing.
I was a bartender as well. And then I got fired bartending.
Hell yeah.
And so I was like, well, I still want to work at this bar. And they're like, well, we need a DJ. So I'm like, all right, I'll figure it out.
Although he played commercial chart music at first, it was during the last hour of all-night sets that he reached for his dance records, expressing his passion and interest in the house music of the time. With his bender all-nighter lifestyle starting in college, after parties led him down the path of house music discovery, which seeded the Summit sound we know today.
If you go the after parties, if you stay up late enough, if you go to a club, they're playing, just typical music. They're like, yo, let's go here. And then you listen, you're like, what the hell is this? This is something I've never heard before. And then it's like a whole rabbit hole. And before you know it, you're listening to techno at 6 a.m.
While juggling his studies on accounting, Summit used his spare time to educate himself on the workings of Ableton and started on what would be the first of over 50 releases in the next 5 years to follow. With original releases on ADR, Build It Records and Art Department, he eventually crossed paths with Repopulate Mars boss Lee Foss.
I was emailing him every week, and eventually he responds. He's like, oh, this is dope, this is dope. He doesn't even know I'm from Chicago or anything. And then I saw him play at Spy Bar, and he opened with my song, played 8 of my tracks, and then closed with one of my songs.
No.
What?
Yeah. All my friends are like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you think you were tripping or something?
Oh, 1000%. I was like, he's opening with my song, and then I tell him afterwards, I'm like, hey, I'm from Chicago too. And then he freaks out. He's like, I literally just didn't even know who you were. I just downloaded the song. And then from there, he kind of took me under his wing. He's like, a fellow Chicago guy. I love your music.
In the build up to 2020, Summit honed in on his sound, collaborating with artists such as West End, MKJ, and Dead Space, and seeing releases on Psycho Disco and Toru. However, it wasn't until that summer that Summit started to gain serious traction when his debut defected release Deep End took over the scene. The track became an instant hit, topping the Beatport charts and gaining support from DJs all around the world. Deep End was a perfect blend of John's influences, featuring a catchy bass line and a vocal sample that had people dancing all summer long. The success of Deep End catapulted Summit into the mainstream, with him winning DJ Mag's Breakthrough Artist of the Year. Despite the challenges of the pandemic, Summit continued to release music through 21 and 22, with powerful releases such as Danza and collaborations on tracks with Vintage Culture, Nick Vanchuli, and Echoes. With Deep End being his rocket ship moment, Summit continues to show his versatility as a producer and isn't afraid to pull elements from other subgenres. In 2021, Summit also launched his own record label, Off the Grid Records. The label was created as a platform for John to release his own music and to support up-and-coming artists within the house music scene. The label has also gained support from industry heavyweights such as Green Velvet and Cole Cox, and continues to put on incredible event showcases worldwide. One of the things that sets Summit apart from other DJs and producers is his connections with his fans. With his love of chilies and all-nighter benders, his fans see him as a relatable person in the scene. Someone who says it how it is and ultimately keeps it real online. It's a refreshing take considering most high-profile people have their accounts managed for them and everything they say is fed through a PR machine. Summit is ultimately one of the ravers. He'll happily jump in the crowd to see a fellow artist set and has that hunger and appreciation for what he does for a living. Whether it's expressing his thoughts on a festival set time or rocking to the airport straight from an afters, his fans appreciate his dedication to the genre and his willingness to take risks in his music. And they're a big reason why he's been able to achieve so much success in such a short amount of time. From playing his first gig in Skybar to selling out 2 back-to-back shows in Brooklyn Mirage, John Summit is a breath of fresh air to the house music scene and is very quickly pioneering his own lane. With parody bowling accounts or a fan community that is unrivaled, John continues to take his career to new heights in both his musical productions and his sellout shows. And it's clear that his talent, passion and dedication have led him to become one of the most exciting and influential names in house music today. There is no doubt that Summit will continue to push boundaries and inspire new generations of artists to follow in his footsteps. And despite his love of self-proclaimed benders, he continues to dedicate time to his craft and love for the house music scene. So if you've enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments which of Summit's tracks or achievements is your favourite. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to see more exciting content like this. My name is EVPRO, and this has been the rise of John Summit.